Welcome to today's Explainer. We are diving straight into something that literally affects every single one of us, how we actually make progress. And I'm not just talking about those massive, once-in-a-lifetime leaps. I mean, real, daily, nitty-gritty progress. Today, we're going to completely dismantle the old way of thinking about success. We're talking about a massive paradigm shift. It's time to move away from that passive state of waiting around, the thing that keeps so many of us completely stuck, and firmly put you in the driver's seat, so you can build unstoppable momentum.
So let's just put it out there. Why do we always wait for the perfect moment? You know the drill. Over 60% of us wake up every single day and immediately start negotiating with ourselves. We hit that snooze button and think, should I really work on my goals today, or can this wait until I'm a bit more ready? We're constantly holding out for this magical feeling of readiness, or waiting for all the stars to perfectly align. But here's the kicker. When you give yourself an option, you're really just giving yourself an excuse. That ready feeling you keep waiting for, it's never actually going to show up. And that brings us to a pretty harsh truth. Life doesn't wait for the perfect moment. It simply doesn't care, and it doesn't ask if you're ready. Life is going to keep moving forward with or without you. So we really need to absolutely shatter the whole myth of motivation right here and now. You see, the human mind is hardwired to choose the path of least resistance. It's always going to favor staying comfortable over putting in the hard effort. If you're sitting around waiting for a lightning bolt of motivation to strike before you take action, well, you're building your house on a really flimsy foundation. Think about it like this. Motivation, it's just a spark. It's totally unreliable and temporary. Sure, it's great for getting things started, but it is never, ever enough to keep the fire burning. Discipline, on the other hand, is the reliable fuel that keeps everything going. Successful people don't just sit around having a debate with themselves about whether they should follow through today. They don't check their emotional temperature before they start working. They just do it. They operate strictly on commitment, not on temporary feelings. Because feelings, they come and go. But results, those only come from consistency.
All right, let's jump right into section 1, the mechanics of daily progress. Let's move past the philosophy and look at the actual practical mechanics of moving forward. Progress is a decision, right? It's an act of motion. It is definitely not this all-or-nothing event where you have to completely overhaul your life by tomorrow morning or else you're a failure. It's actually just about small, consistent steps. And the math behind this momentum is wild. Check this out. 37 times. We live in a culture that is absolutely obsessed with instant results. But if you just improve by 1 measly % every day, compounding kicks in. By the end of a single year, you don't just get a little better, you get over 37 times better. Small things add up. Doing something is always better than doing nothing. Don't have an hour to read? Okay, read for 5 minutes. Can't do a full gym routine? Cool, do a 10-minute workout in your living room. That is exactly how you build something unstoppable.
It's kind of like a rocket launching into space. That rocket burns an insane amount of its fuel in just the first few minutes, just fighting gravity and trying to break through the atmosphere. But once it pushes past that initial resistance, it practically glides. It moves effortlessly. The absolute hardest part is literally just getting off the launch pad. The secret hack here is to shrink the gap between having a thought and taking the action. The longer you sit there thinking about doing something, the more time you give your brain to talk you out of it. By taking immediate action, like literally counting down from 5 and just moving, you blast right past that hesitation. And the best part? Taking action actually builds your confidence. You don't wait until you feel confident to do the thing. You do the thing, and then the confidence follows. To do this right, though, you need clear direction. And that means you have to track your effort, not your outcomes. Vague goals like, I want to get in shape, or I really want to be successful, they just lead to drifting. And drifting leads exactly nowhere. You've got to set specific, measurable targets based purely on the stuff you actually control, your daily actions. Look, you can't control whether a client says yes to your pitch, but you absolutely can control making 5 sales calls today. You can't control shedding 10 pounds overnight, but you can definitely control going for a 30-minute walk. If you focus obsessively on tracking your effort, I promise you the outcomes will naturally take care of themselves.
Moving on to section 2, the hidden cost of blame.
Now, we need to talk about the dark side of progress, because there is one major habit that acts as a huge hidden tax on your personal power: blame. Pointing fingers at the economy, your circumstances, or other people, it completely drains you. Imagine your life as a ship sailing out on the open ocean. Suddenly, a massive storm rolls in. You have a choice. You can stand there on the deck, yell at the clouds, blame the wind, and complain about the massive waves. But let's be real. Blaming the storm doesn't calm the water, does it? It doesn't stop the wind. It literally just leaves you helpless, drifting around and totally stuck.
Or you can take the other option, firmly grab the wheel and steer the ship. Highly successful people, they almost never point fingers. They're way too busy steering their own ships. Think about the difference here. Blame creates complete and utter paralysis. When you blame someone else, you're essentially saying, I have zero control over this, and you hand all your personal power over to external forces. It literally blinds you to opportunities because you're so laser-focused on what's going wrong that you can't even see what's possible. Responsibility, though, that creates massive momentum. Taking responsibility unlocks possibilities. It puts you squarely back in the driver's seat so you can actually step back and ask, okay, what can I do differently next time?
Which perfectly tees up Section 3, the anchor of responsibility.
We really need to completely rewrite how we think about this word. For a lot of folks, responsibility just sounds heavy. It sounds like guilt or taking the fault for something bad. But the huge paradigm shift here is realizing that taking responsibility is actually your ultimate superpower. Responsibility is not a burden, it is pure freedom. The exact second you say, you know what, this is my responsibility, you take your control right back. Suddenly, you're no longer just some victim of bad luck or tough circumstances. You actually become the creator of your own outcomes. And it's this exact mindset that lets you magically transform your setbacks into lessons, your obstacles into stepping stones, and your biggest challenges into massive life-changing breakthroughs.
Okay, so how do we actually do this in real life? How do we make this shift right now? First off, catch your language. The very second you hear yourself muttering, I can't help it, or, well, it's not my fault, I want you to pause. Stop right there and immediately ask yourself, okay, but what can I do? Second, practice daily accountability. Remind yourself the minute you wake up that you are fully in charge of your actions today. Third, start reframing your problems into opportunities. Instead of whining about why something bad happened to you, ask what you can learn from it. And fourth, rewrite your internal stories. Ditch that old narrative where you're the victim and start telling a story about your own resilience and grit. That is exactly how you build an empowered mindset. Just small, daily choices. Now for the final stretch, Section 4, protecting your momentum. So, here is the catch with all this. Progress does not run on autopilot. Once you get that momentum going, life is absolutely going to test you. Distractions are going to pop up, and you have to actively protect your progress so you don't just slide right back into your old, comfortable habits. You've got to guard your gait. First, manage your physical energy. Honestly, all the time management hacks in the world are completely useless if you're too exhausted to do anything. Drink water, move your body, get some sleep. Second, clear out the physical clutter. A messy workspace equals a messy mind. Third, curate your influences. You need to fiercely guard your mental energy by cutting out negativity and surrounding yourself with people who actually pull you forward. And finally, forgive your setbacks quickly. Look, if you miss a day at the gym, fine. Just don't miss 2 in a row. Don't let one bad afternoon turn into a whole bad week. Recover fast, shake it off, and get right back on track. As you're guarding that momentum, I want you to keep this really cool image in your head. The bamboo tree. You plant a bamboo seed, you water it, you take care of it, and for years, literally nothing happens. Above ground, there is zero visible growth. It looks like a total failure. But underground, the roots are spreading out, building this massive, robust foundation. And then, out of nowhere, it just shoots up. It grows insanely fast in a matter of weeks. Real mastery and true progress work exactly the same way. It requires so much patience. You might not see the massive results of your daily discipline right out of the gate. But if you just stay consistent and keep watering that seed, your breakthrough is absolutely going to come.
Honestly, you don't need another motivational pep talk. Deep down, you already know exactly what you need to do. The only real question left is, are you going to do it? So what is one thing, just one single thing you can do today, like literally right now, that moves you forward? Not tomorrow, not next Monday, right now. Because the only guaranteed way to fail is to just stop. So take that one step forward today, grab the wheel of your ship, and just watch how incredibly fast your life transforms.